All right, so no intro to the show. Just going to be me, Alex, today. Just want to let you guys know what happened as far as Tuesday's show. So we are going to release another show on Tuesday. Nothing major is going on. It's just with the holiday season, as most people have been experiencing, just like us, family members getting sick, personal illnesses. Mike was sick. We just really didn't have time to get down in the basement and record. And for those that are wondering, yes, we do record in the basement. There's no actual studio. It might look like one because we basically just put up microphones around a poker table. But yeah, we do record in the basement. But yeah, for the most part, we just didn't have time to record another episode. So we've got one that we recorded for this coming Tuesday. I'm putting this out on a Friday rather than a Tuesday episode, just to kind of give everyone a heads up of what happened, because I didn't want to leave people wondering where we were. The other thing was, I just wanted to say, thank you to everyone that listens to the show. Happy New Year, obviously. And hopefully this year we'll be able to bring some not only humor but some reasonable thought to this year, because I've got a feeling that 2024, the legacy media, the online media, they're really going to be going for those extra clicks and trying to make extra revenue this year, because it's an election year. And they know that they can make people angry, and anger gets people to listen and click. And so hopefully, we're here to kind of help wade through the waters of what's real, what's not real. Even though, we've said this before. We're human too. Our brains can be manipulated just like everybody else's, right? So who knows? All we know is that 2024. Because it's an election year, because they need you mad, because when you're mad, you go vote, they're going to try and make you as mad as possible. They're going to try and make you hate your neighbor as much as possible, because that's what gets you moving and out of the house. When, politics sometimes brings, I don't know what the right word is, but politics can bring it can alter or deter your mindset off of what's going on in your actual life. If there's other things in your life that are bothering you, or if let's say you don't have anything bothering you in your life, being mad about politics can give you a purpose. And I'm all for having a purpose. I'm someone who doesn't like to sit still. I like to have something to do, keep my mind occupied. We created a podcast for that reason alone. We came up with an idea and just kind of ran with it because we had some spare time. And it turned into something 3 years later that we never thought it would, which is that people actually listen to this. And I know we joke about people, not listening, right? And, for two guys that don't advertise a podcast, we somehow ended up with thousands of listeners per show. To our own amazement, it baffles us both. That being said, we know that there are people out there who are going to have extra time, or they just want to focus their energy on something. And the talking heads and the media and these other folks out there, they're going to try and get you to focus that energy on your neighbor and finding their differences with you rather than what makes you similar. They're going to try and tell you that because they don't look like you, they hate you, or because they don't think like you, they hate you. And you need to do something about that. Well, they don't hate you. And you have a lot more in common than you think. And so, with this short amount of time, I'm only going to talk for a few minutes. We've talked I don't know if it's the last episode or the next one, we're going to talk about how crazy 2024 is going to get. And I think we're going to be shocked at how wild it's going to be. It was funny because Mike and I have asked the question because it seems like a lot of minor issues are being pushed out in a major way. And we both have said there's money behind this. And we both joke that it's George Soros or his kid Alex Soros. And don't get me wrong, they do push out a lot of stuff and they have a lot of political access, but they're not the only family out there with an agenda. And one of the other families that we've kind of heard about more recently was the Pritzker family. And if that last name sounds familiar, it's because J.B. Pritzker is or was the governor of Illinois, but his sister Penny Pritzker is on the board of Harvard University. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because Harvard's one of the most popular and influential universities in the world. And they had an incident lately with their president, and all that's well documented. But Penny Pritzker is one of the people on that board that are pushing certain things and changes. Now, some people like those changes and others don't. But my point is that certain things are put out into the media, and they want you to care because you, the individual, are the one who is going to be angry and mad, or they're going to try and make you angry or mad enough where you will then go and lead a charge for their cause. Okay? Now, and I'm not going to say what the Pritzker cause is, but you can look it up and find out. Just Google the Pritzker family, and you'll see some of the things that's being said in the mainstream media about them. Now, because for the most part, the Pritzker family, outside of JB, no one's ever heard of them. But there are a lot of wealthy families, and you've heard them called the donor class, the elite, the deep state. It's all of that. That's all the same thing. It's these very, very wealthy individuals who hold an immense amount of wealth and power. And we've heard the term 5D chess or 4D chess or whatever it is. And these people play it because they get you to do their bidding for their cause by manipulating you and me and everybody. It's not, when I'm saying you, I'm not talking just to you, the individual. I mean, they play both sides. It's kind of like Henry Ford, the inventor of the automobile, or not the automobile, but the assembly line, right? Created Ford Motor Company. The guy spent money on both sides of World War II. He donated to the Nazis and he donated to the Allies. Because at the end of the day, because he was donating to both, he didn't care who won. He was going to have influence with whichever side won. And that's the way these people operate. So in order for them to win, they need to make you mad. And they don't care which side of the aisle you're going to fall on, but they want you to advocate for them. And so before you get mad at your neighbor, before you get into all the name calling on Facebook and Twitter, or even in real life, before you decide you want to yell at them like someone who cut you off in traffic, which, that's a completely separate topic, of course. Just be mindful that you may be vulnerable to manipulation from what you read and what you see, and that it's being done on purpose. And that the person that you're looking at with a different point of view has also read and seen things to get them to believe their point of view. And they're not the ones that you should be mad at. Okay? So before, it's one of those, it's this think before you leap, or think before you speak kind of a thing. Just know that the person you're mad at may not know that they've been manipulated. But you, listening to this show, know that that's a possibility. And why you're mad, might not be something that you really care about to be mad about. But you've been made to care about it because it's just been pressed upon you over and over again. So, my point is this: going into the new year, try and be more understanding of the people around you. Don't be quick to be angry, especially over something trivial or that may not affect you directly. I'm not saying that there aren't things in this world to be concerned about, but I am saying that there are outside factors directly in your face trying to get you angry about certain things so that you're mad about, so that you get mad at people who really have nothing to do with it. Yeah, it's kind of like being mad at the teller at your bank because they didn't give you a mortgage when the person that really made the decision, is nowhere to be seen in that local branch of yours. Yeah, but you're mad at the teller because they represent that bank at that point in time, right? But that teller's just trying to make a living. He's probably earning, they're probably earning $15-$20 an hour, and probably doesn't even like the bank they're working for. But you're mad at them because they're the one that you see every day, and they have nothing to do with the mortgage you didn't get approved for, right? This is the same kind of instance. You're not mad at your neighbor. You're mad at what they're saying because someone fed them another line of bullshit that didn't agree with the line of bullshit you were given, right? So in 2024, I just want everyone to stop and think before they act. Because I've got a feeling, and I don't want to be an alarmist, but I've got a feeling that 2024 might make 2020 look like nothing, or 2016. I mean, the last two major presidential elections we've seen rioting in streets, we've seen vandalism, theft, and I'm not just talking about in inner cities. It's happened all over. I mean, it doesn't get much whiter than Portland, and that place is a disaster right now. And it started in 2016. They really just preyed on people's vulnerabilities, and they made them mad, and it kind of something snapped in people. Or maybe I'm just seeing it more. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I guess my request for anyone who listens to this show, and even if it's a couple thousand people who listen, maybe they can spread the message as well, but be kind to one another. I know that was an Ellen DeGeneres thing, and she ended up being fairly awful to the people that worked for her, but just try, let your first instinct be to be kind to someone. If someone wants to get in that lane of traffic, even though they sped past 20 cars, just let them in. It's not going to affect you, right? They're not going to think of you 5 minutes later. So why think of them that negatively 5 minutes later or immediately, right? It's not that big of a deal. So let it go. And that's, I guess, my point for this. Again, this is only 15 minutes. I just wanted to let you guys know. So, apologize for not putting out a show on Tuesday. Want to say Happy New Year. Want to say thank you for listening. But also, just be cognizant of what's going on, what's going to happen, and just try and just remember that. And as always, we appreciate you listening. Hopefully we got some big news coming in the future. Then again, maybe not. Who knows? We're talking to some people. We're trying to figure out some things. Hopefully have some more guests on in 2024, talk about some positive things, hopefully, but I'm sure we're going to end up talking about the craziness that's going to occur, because that's something we talk about. We talk about the current events of the world that are happening. And we try to mix it in with some fun topics like the movies and the cars and other stuff like that. But we appreciate you listening to all of them or just one of them, any show you listen to. If you can like the show, if you're on a platform that allows you to like it, if you can leave a review somewhere on a podcast platform like Apple, that's my request for you for 2024 is to please leave a review, leave a comment anywhere. Even if you hate us, let us know. Let us know you don't like us. But we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you letting us turn this hobby into something that we still enjoy doing on a weekly basis. We for Mike and I, we've said this, that, part of this is therapy for us, that we're just sitting out here putting our stuff, putting our life on the table. And we haven't put it all out there, but, we put a majority of the things that we're trying to do with our weight loss and our mental health and family life and just things like that. But we try to throw in some humor into it too, because, we definitely don't take ourselves that seriously. So we hope that that's resonated with some people out there, and we appreciate you listening. And as always, we'll talk to you real soon.